What is up, guys? This is Kobe here, and it's a little early because this doesn't exactly happen until like a little early into March. But today, because nothing is really going to change that much, I'm going to be doing my 1 year equipment video. Pretty much just everything that I've accomplished within the past year. So, for those of, some of the followers that are mostly aware, a year ago, my old account on KMS was put into protection mode. And basically what that is that it's completely locked. Nobody has access to the account. It protects, you from having hackers enter and take stuff away from the account because it might have triggered because somebody tried to break into it or whatnot, In my case, I don't exactly know why I got protected. It just suddenly happened out of nowhere. But I was unsuccessful to recover that account. So I thought about it for a few days and I figured I was going to restart on KMS as a whole. But this time I would turn it to where I was completely free to play, because on my old account I was not free to play at all. The funny thing about this account is that on the old account I decided that I was going to main Pathfinder shortly before it got locked. So I played Pathfinder for about a month, and I did have some issues with the class, mainly because of its ping dependency, which is now fixed, which is really unfortunate because it happened so late. So because of Pathfinder's huge ping dependency, I decided to move back to Dark Knight. But if it didn't require, such low ping back then, like it does right now, then I would probably still more than likely be maining Pathfinder. But because that wasn't a change back then, I decided to just go back to Dark Knight because it's the class that I've just always been loyal to for the past 6-7 years or so. I started maining Dark Knight before the big red patch in 2013 that completely revamped all the explorers. Fun fact, useless fact, I didn't need to say that, but there's just something going for it. But today I figured it is time I show you guys my whole progress and kind of some of the side characters' gigs, what they're doing on the account as well. So this is my Dark Knight. I am going to show my stat window currently at the moment. This is completely clean. I'm at 13.6 million range with 30.4k stat without Maple Warrior. Unfortunately, I do feel like my stat is a little inflated or just for my damage, because my weapon secondary emblem aren't exactly all that great. But we'll go ahead and get into that right now. This is my equipment window. As you can see, it's mostly uniques. There's still 3 epics. Those are mainly going to be replaced by new items, so I don't really have a reason to U-pot those, but they will be replaced, sometime in the future. So I'll go ahead and start from the top left here. We have my Silver Blossom Ring. I scrolled this for 8 attack. Of course, the scrolling could have been better, but I'm really not trying to do like the chaos or whatever return method for this, just for a Silver Blossom Ring. So I'm like completely okay with what it's at right now. If I use like premium scrolls, then the lowest I could have rolled was like 12 attack and 3 slots, but I'm not really gonna bother with that. I bought the potential straight up. It was about 1.05 bill for the main pot alone. It was 3 line strength, unique, 21%, and then I cubed the B pot with 16 bonus occult cubes, and I landed 2 lines of attack. So I was really happy to see that. So that's my Silver Blossom Ring. Here we have the Tenebrous Ring. I'm pretty sure this is no different from like the 6-month equipment video I did. But it's 2 line unique, 10 attack bonus pot. Got that from the Glory patch. Then my special Deep Dark Ring, because I started this character towards the end of the adventure patch, I was able to collect enough adventure coins and obtain the Deep Dark Critical Ring, and this ring has not come back since, so I'm very happy I have it, because it gives a lot of crit rate, which right now it's probably at 90, 100 with the Beholder buff, and another 10 with Sharp Eyes. That doesn't really matter at the moment, but it is what it is. And it gives an extra 5% critical damage. That critical damage is mainly what's really, keeping me onto this ring. I have had no intention of replacing this ring with anything just because it is so good. And then we have my Chaos Ring, which I would probably say, because it's not a part of like the boss set or anything, this is easily the weakest out of my 4 rings. So whenever I do use an Oz ring, this is the ring that gets replaced for said Oz ring. Though I really only have one Oz ring that I use in boss fights at the moment. Hopefully I'll have another here soon enough, but I just have one for now. I'll show that here later. But this is my Chaos ring, 2-line strength unique, 10 attack, all that stuff. Pocket item is okay. Obviously it could be better. It's 48 strength, 5% all stat, but I don't really care about buying a new pocket item because it is what it is. Anyway, moving on, we have my Mechanator pendant, 110 strength flame. The potential is 12 strength. I'll talk about the scrolling. It's only 7 attack. I wish it could have been better, but attack scrolling with like Chaos and Miracle Scrolls can be a little annoying because the RNG can be kind of bad on it. The potential is 12% strength. You will be seeing a lot of 12% just because of how expensive QB can get. I've used probably hundreds of red cubes, or just hundreds of cubes in total on all my unique equipment, and then you'd be surprised. Like, most of the items I have unique are the ones that I rolled, and I'll talk about the pots I rolled and the pots that I pretty much bought straightforward. But I feel like I've rolled pretty much just about everything on here except for like the secondary. I'll look at it. I'll tell you as I get to it. And then the bonus potential on this is 6% strength. The ideal epic bonus potential that I'm supposed to be transferring is 4% strength and 10 attack, but those are either non-existent or extremely expensive for certain items, so I just went ahead and got 6% instead. 6% is slightly worse. You definitely want 4% and 10 attack, but I honestly don't mind either way. Here's my Dominator pendant. It is scrolled very badly. It was the first 5 scrolls were used with the items from Arcane, you know, the ones that you're supposed to use it on, but I 17 started without realizing that protection scrolls don't exactly work on items 12 stars or above, so I kind of messed up on that one. So I dropped an accessory scroll for the last slot, hoping I'd land like 3 or 4 attack, but I only landed 2, so because I didn't want to risk booming it. I really did not want to risk that boom. So it is what it is. I did roll this potential. It is 2-line strength, 15%, not 12, so that's good. And the bonus potential is 6% strength. That was also transferred up from a pendant that I bought from the auction house. And then we have an arcane weapon. Oh, this weapon. I bought it towards the end of last year. I think it might have been around October when I got this weapon, to be honest. It wasn't very long after I did my 6.5 month equipment review, but arcane spears were falling, and they were falling a lot. Like, at the time of that equipment video, they were like 4 bill clean, and then like give it a month or 2 later, they're down to like 1.8. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna buy a clean arcane weapon, because, you know, I want an arcane weapon. Not exactly the greatest route to go for, you know, some people, especially if your arcane weapon's like 4 bill plus clean. And then it's best to just use legendary Apso for a long time, because that's really just how it is. Because arcane is massively expensive to upgrade, and unfortunately, but I did scroll it. I did star it up to 12 stars. I did not want to spend the money getting it to 15 because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be as RNG carried as my old Dark Knight was for starting to 15. So I probably don't even plan on starting in the future anyway. I might just buy a new weapon, and the main reason is because of its potential. Its potential is 2-line attack, 15% attack. Over 100 black cubes have been used on the unique potential, and that's the best I've rolled. And not only that, but it didn't even tier up to legendary. So I'm really just looking at it thinking this is a cursed weapon, and I need to get rid of it and get just a better weapon. I'm sure this weapon will be worth maybe about like 4 to 5 bill with what it's got going on right now. So hopefully I can sell it for a decent amount when I am going towards getting a new weapon. But I probably won't have a new weapon for a while. Like, give or take summer at the absolute earliest is when I'll have a new weapon. But for now, I'm just gonna keep this. And if maybe a no boom room comes around and I change my mind, I'll go and try and attempt a 15 star it, and then 17 star it a little later after that. But for now, this is all it is. This is what it is. The bonus potential is 6% damage, 3% IED, 3% IED, and the soul is a magnificent queen with 7% boss damage. So this is the mediocre weapon that I have going for me. I could definitely probably save up to get a much better weapon in the future, but that is not my plan at the moment. I'll be talking about my plans in like a future video. I'd rather just show you guys what I do have done. Golden Clover belt. I love this belt. It has a really good flame, 48 and 6, better than my cup. Scrolling is it's so really weirdly. It's like 10 strength from tracing it, and then 3 attack from an accessory scroll. Like, why would I do that? I don't know. It's weird. But the potential is 9% strength epic, and then the bonus is 4% and 10 attack. This is one of the more cheaper ones. I think I bought the bonus potential for like 300 mil, 330 mil, 350, something around there. And then I was able to transfer it all the way up to a pink bean belt and just keep it like that. Now, we got the Absolab helmet. I did black cube this as a mild attempt of trying to tear it up because Dark Knights love cooldown reduction on the hats. But instead, I did roll 18% strength, which is much better than 12 for sure. I bought the hat clean with the flame, 54 and 5, because that's a good flame. I scrolled it and I star forced it. And I bought the bonus potential for it as well. 11 and 2, which is Of course, 4 and 10 would be better. 11 and 2 is probably pretty near equivalent to about 6%. So I'm not exactly too upset about that pot. But of course, I could have obviously bought a better one, given how much money I'm currently making on this character. But it's a little too late for that now. Here we have my condensed power crystal. This will be replaced with Red Meister in the far future. That has like 20 stars on it, something like really good. So I'm not going to worry about this. It is 15% strength on the epic pot, so that's pretty easy. I bought that pretty much. I bought this whole thing without the bonus pot, and then I cubed the bonus pot. I rolled 2% strength and 3 attack, so I decided to just keep that. So that's it. I did the scrolling as well. As you can see, it's failed 4 slots, and the 1 slot that I did pass, or the slots that I did pass, gave a decent amount of attack. I don't really care about scrolling this as much because, you know, as I said, I'm not going to be working on this, so I'd rather get a new face instead. And that's that. And this is my black bean mark. I luckily 17 starred this without safeguarding it once, while I only had 1 black bean mark, like, in my inventory. Now I have, including this one, I have 4. So maybe a 20-star attempt will come fairly soon, but we'll just see how that goes in general. I did flame it. It took a little bit of flames, but I decided that was the flame that I do plan on settling with. I don't really care that I can roll more. That's just going to be it for that. The potential is 12% strength. Again, you'll see a lot of these. And then the bonus pot is really good because I actually landed that on reveal after I used to scroll on it. And then I pretty much click the magnifying glass. Boom. That's my pot. pretty good. So I'm not pretty. I like it. Now we got my CRA top. Pretty much bought the flame and bought the bonus pot, and I did everything else to it. I scrolled it, I starred it, and I cubed the unique pot, and I rolled that. Tops, I heard, are one of the more annoying pots to roll stat on. And then here I am rolling 2.5 lines of stat here, like it's nothing. This took like 13 cubes in total, so I'm super happy. So sometimes some items have bad luck, while some other items have good luck. So this is the top that I successfully cubed, and I'm very happy about the final product of this thing. It's probably even better. This and the hat are probably better than what I had back on my old character. So there are some items that are better, and most items that are worse, like, you know, of course, the weapon and whatnot. Bottom, unfortunately, rolled 12%. It's 64 and 4 on the flame. I traced it, star forced it, bought the bonus pot. Pretty much same thing as my hat. Shoe. Now this is where I think I had this shoe in my old equipment video, pretty much as far as like all the other unique apsos. You know, 96 strength flame. I scrolled it, star forced it. More like I Star Force scrolled it. I don't think I ever Star Force this thing at all. I did cube it. Bonus potential is only rare. Epic is a little bit more accessible for shoes, but that was not under like my thought at the time, so I didn't really care for it as much. You know, that goes with all my other Absol pieces except for the hat and the shoulder, because you can't exactly transfer shoulders. So that's my shoe. My earring is about the flame, about the bonus pot, 4% in attack. I cubed it, scrolled it, Star Forced it. It's only 8 extra attack from scrolling, but it is missing 2 slots, so I can get like 3 or 4 more attack at the very least from that. It's a pretty nice little final product. Again, the 12% does irritate me, but I have a whole bunch of other items at 12% that I'm not exactly cared about, so let that be that. I'm really not trying to cube for stat anymore, because I feel like stat is the least of my worries, and you've already seen it by the weapon that I could use a better weapon, and then soon you'll see the secondary and the emblem and just other things. Shoulder was traced 1 time, and that was the scrolling on it. No attack, no chaos scrolls, because you can't use accessory for attack scroll on shoulders. Shoulders are like, it's like the one item where only chaos scrolls work on it. It's like badges in GMS with the you know, slots that you can use to scroll, and that's just that. Again, 12% strength. It is 10 attack B pot. The other 2 lines are strength. This was annoying to roll a B pot on. I was getting extremely frustrated. There was a point where I was just spending all my money on nothing but bonus occult cubes just so I could roll that 10 attack. And then after a while, I finally did it. Curse shoulder. I really don't want to touch it again, to be honest. And then we Why is it 20 stars, you may ask? Well, I did Star Force this glove myself, because there's no way in mind I would have bought a 20-star glove, because I would have bought a crit damage glove that was 17 or 18 stars instead. It all goes down to a Discord call, and we played a game called Chicken, right? And it was 3 of us, 3 idiots. We were Star Force in our gloves. We all had, no, I had 17-star gloves, and the other 2 had 18-star gloves. And then they talked about whether they should star their gloves or not for the hell of it, and then they got me into it. And then before we knew it, we were all doing something extremely stupid and starring our gloves. I turned out to be the only person who got the final product of a good final product, at least. The others, somebody else lost a lot of money but got their gloves back to 18 stars, and the other person lost even more money, boomed twice just to get the gloves back to 17. They might have it at 18 now, but I don't exactly remember. But at the end of the day, it was just dumb shit that was going on in Discord, and all of a sudden it led to a 20-star glove, and they still pressure me to this day to start the 22, and I just know that that is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So I got 20-star gloves, and it took me like 750. I just kept starring. I don't know why, I just kept doing it, but it took me about 750 mil to go from 17 to 20 stars, which I think is extremely good, because it could have took more. It could have boomed, because if it booms, it goes back down to 12. And I mean, the reason why I did it for the most part was because from the Rise Fountain, we did have a 15-star scroll. So in the end, if the glove boomed, I would just simply use my 15-star scroll on it, get it back to 17 from a Star Force event that we just recently had, probably with the scroll. No, we did. And then I would just call it. I'll just call it with that. You know, I didn't really feel like I was gonna lose much if the glove boomed. You know, I wasn't exactly looking at any downside for it. And then I hit 20 stars, and I just left it alone. And that's the story of the glove. So it's 36 strength, 6% all stat. Pot is better. It's 2-line unique, 15%, better than the 12s. But I do plan on personally tiering this up to legendary. We all know how drastic the tier upgrades are. If you've seen my cubing video, you saw the cubes I use on the weapon, so you probably think I'm crazy for wanting to tier this up with cubes. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, man. I'm saying the potential's rare. So if it does tier up to, if the main pot tiers up to legendary, I'll throw an epic bonus potential score on it the next time we get a cube sale. and then cube that. So, but right now, gloves, this is more expensive than my weapon. These pairs of gloves are more expensive than my weapon. This is my most expensive item in possession. Interesting. Moving on, my emblem, the one that tiered up, I rolled this on reveal and I decided to keep it. It's 9% all stat, 12% attack, and 9% damage, which is double prime, funny enough. And it's just funny seeing 12% attack in that middle there, you know? You don't really see that much unless it's 33% attack, so my emblem should be 33% attack by the looks of it, but it's not, so that's unfortunate. It'll be slightly difficult to cube for something better, so I'm just going to keep that for now. That is one of my lower priorities to cube it, because the potential is already like okay. It's not great, it's not like good, but it's okay. And the bonus potential is 6% attack, 3% strength. I used scrolls on it, and then after I passed the scroll, I rolled that with 1 cube, so I was very happy. Batch. Medal. I'm getting the Monster Park medal in tomorrow. Yes, in tomorrow. Or if I want to be exact, if I ran immediately at reset, I'll be getting it in a matter of 5 hours. So pretty much not too long after this video, I will be rocking the Monster Park 7-day medal with the 10% IED. I'm just gonna be at it, you know. And then this is my secondary. I'm pretty sure this hasn't changed from the glory days. This was in the last equipment video, but one of my plans in the near future is to get a better secondary, double legendary, because Dark Knights have cheap secondaries, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of them. Probably get them when I start grinding a lot through like haste season, because I think haste will come back in April, so I'll be like, okay, level 250 push, secondary, we gonna be at it. So that's that. That hasn't really changed much. The whole 30 boss, 6% attack, 15% IED, and the bonus pot is 6% attack. And then the cape, it seems to be about the same as well. Same flame as my hat. I scrolled it, I star forced it, I cubed it for 12%. As you can see, I have way too many 12% for my own good. And then the B pot is 10 attack. And then there's my heart, level 30 heart, because a clean titanium heart is like 2.5 bill. So I'd rather just save up and buy like a 3-line unique or a 3-line legendary one. Though I should be informed that 3-line legendary hearts are twice the price of 3-line uniques. So I think it's best if I just buy a 3-line unique instead. So, and just not care about that for the longest time, because it wouldn't really bother with me. So, and 3-line unique is probably like 4.5 bill. On 3-line legendary, we're looking at about 9 bill. 21% versus 30%. So basically in game, I do want to cube my glove and my hat, or no, I'll buy a new hat. I'll cube the glove. I can sell this for like 2.5 bill, and then a cooldown hat's probably like 6 bill, so I have to save up like 3.5 just to get a good hat. So after that, the stat that I lose from getting a better hat and glove will just be brought back from a new heart. But that's not the current plan at the moment. The current plan is to buy node stones, because, well, first of all, here are my symbols. 12.6 K strength from symbols. I maxed out the first 4. These 3 are getting pretty close. I've been using all my vouchers on Sphera. What I plan to do is I'm using all my Arcane vouchers on Sphera until it catches up with Morass, and then once it does, I'm going to split them both evenly among each other, so they'll be maxed out on the same time at the same day, and so I don't have to do Arcane dailies anymore as soon as possible. And so that's my equipment. So why I'm buying node stones? Let's go ahead and look at this. This isn't even level 60. This is like 55, 52. Dark Spear is 26, this is 8, Cyclone's 11, plus 5, so that's not even exactly 11 plus 5, it's 6 plus 5. Cyclone's level 6, it's terribly low. And if I want to have a good burst for, like, you know, running hard loosen and whatnot, I'm going to need to max this out. I'm all with Aura Weapon, because Aura Weapon is really good at a higher level as well, so I definitely want to get that done. I feel like boost nodes will be on the verge of being done pretty soon, so I no longer have to worry about those. This one's 16. That's still kind of far off. But I'll just have this one max out naturally because it's not exactly the biggest of deals, in my opinion. I do want to get these 3 to 25 though. That would be very, very, very convenient. Get Dark Spirit at 25. You know, I'm not gonna worry about this, but basically what I plan on doing is my next purchase, quote purchase, will be getting 1,000 node stones, and I currently have 33 at the moment. Right now, somebody does owe me money, and by money I mean like 700 mil, which isn't exactly enough to buy 1,000 node stones, because for 1,000 node stones I would need like 6.5 bill for all of them. So I'm just trying to save up at the moment, and then whenever I have the money, you know, I'll just go ahead and get them, and then open them, and then see what the upgrade is like, and kind of see what my damage is as far as like a battle analysis goes and whatnot. Showing off some of the other items in my equipment window. I have 20% drop earrings. I have a Risk Taker 3, which is like 300 mil. Kind of wish I had a 4, but I don't, so that's tough. I got Sharp Eyes gloves, and I have a unique synergy ring. This is going to be one of those event rings I'm going to try to tier up for legendary to roll Mesa on, just so it'll be nice when I farm. But it'll be tiered up through like event cubes, like how we had 20 Meister cubes in the Rise shop. Just whenever they give us more event cubes for event rings only, it's going to be going towards this ring. I'm going to try and tier it up with all of that, and just hope it works, to be honest. Just hope absolutely nothing goes wrong. And that's it for that character. That's it for this character for now. Again, my next progress is to just completely focus more on the V Matrix, and then after that, focus on a weapon in secondary. And then the plans after that will be, you know, to be determined. Now my Legion is 6,296 across 37 characters actually. So I don't even have all 40 registered for the total level yet. I still have 3 more I can make, and then I feel like rushing for like 7k won't exactly be too difficult, to be honest, but I don't really see a reason to do it at the moment. I'm not exactly trying to put my main focus on this, even though I want to hit 8k in the future, but it doesn't exactly matter too much. It hardly matters, but basically what I got going on is the amount of level 200s I currently possess is 14. My most recent one obviously was the new class Adele. I have that at 205, and then before that it was my Cannoneer. My sub mains, I quote, these are the characters that I do play pretty much every day for daily bosses, and I play every week for weekly bosses, are my Cannoneer and my Ho-Young. My Cannoneer is a character that is strong enough to kill up to Lotus, surprisingly, though it does require a lot of buffs to be able to clear Lotus. It's about 13.8k stat. His equipment window is entirely epic. It's like 5 set apps, so CRA, boss accessory, just all that other jazz that have like 10 attack bonus spots on them. And everything is like 70% scrolled on it. The weapon is 15% scrolled. Ho-Young, I don't even know what the Ho-Young has, to be honest. I funded it with really random things. It has no Apso. Like, it's using a Fafnir weapon and just like Necro shoes and gloves and a Zaken cape. And somehow it's able to solo Seavel with like 8.8k stat, 8.7k. So the Ho-Young goes crazy. Ho-Young is a very powerful, so I'm really enjoying my time playing the Ho-Young, you know, whenever I have to play it for weeklies and stuff. So those are pretty much my 2 sub mains that I got going on for the account. Boss mules in the future, I did try to set them up. Like during Rise, I bought a whole bunch of SS rings for certain characters. Like I got one for my Unwo, I got one for Adele. I didn't even for DB because DB already had event rings, and I got one for my DA. Funny enough, the DA is so weak, and it just comes for like a really good CRA meal and KMS because HP gear is so cheap that I decided that I might as well just go ahead and fund it in the future, I suppose, whenever I feel like I need to. But right now, I don't exactly care. But that's pretty much about it. If you want to see my current links, I'm sure I have my bossing links on. I just ran a 4-man boss, so it probably would have been best if I transferred Adele instead of Lumi, and Adele's link is basically 12% damage in a 4-man party, which I would take over, 15% IED, especially with party debuffs and whatnot. But currently I'm rocking Demon Slayer, I'm rocking Phantom. If I'm still using the Deep Dark link and I get my Marksman and my Night Lord to 200, then I might be able to drop Phantom Link. So that's going to be considered in the future, because dropping that will not be a bad idea at all. I might even drop it whenever I start running like Hard Lucid and stuff, because I can clear up to Hard Damien. You can see my stamp for Hard Damien right here. And I got a stamp for Gloom. I got one for, Lucid and Will. I don't know why I don't have a stamp for Easy Lucid. I think it was part of like a bug in this patch, because I've killed Easy Lucid twice. So I assume they'll, patch that in the next patch and whatnot. Of course I can't kill Dark No, because it's level 255. And that's pretty much that. Next step is Hard Lucid, because after the nerf, Hard Lucid I would definitely rank lower than Hard Lotus, because Hard Lotus is just absolutely unfair. So it'd be Hard Damien, which is what I'm clearing right now already, with the full 6-man party. Next step is Hard Lucid. After that it's going to be Hard Lotus, and then after that it's going to be Hard Will. And then Chaos Gloom, but I'm not gonna worry about Chaos Gloom for a while. Like 255 at the earliest. It's really just outside of my reach. I am not going to care. But I do have a Zedon Link. I'm not sure if that's worth keeping around or not. I'm not really sure which like the best of the best, but I got DA, Kinesis, Cadena. I got Resistance, Arc, Angelic Buster, because syncs really well with Cyclone, Magician and Thief. So those are my bossing links at the current moment. And again, Phantom will be replaced with Adele once I start running more into like boss parties, especially if I'm running with an archer and they have sharp eyes, and which for the most part I am. So I get real sharp eyes, so there's really no real purpose in having Phantom. So that's practically about it. This video is over half an hour long of just me rambling, which is, to be honest, that's quite insane. So again, let's go ahead and look at my clean range. Let me go ahead and buff up for that. So it's 13.6, huh? Combat Orders, Maple Warrior, put me at 31.3k stat. I'm gonna be stuck here for an extraordinarily long time, just to let you guys know, because again, the upgrades I'm making will be focused towards like weapons, secondary. I'm gonna lose stat from getting a better glove and hat, but then get it back from a new heart and just all that other stuff. So my stat's gonna be on the roller coaster soon. It's only a matter, I feel like I'll probably be like 35k by the end of the year if I continue playing as much as I do, but the chances of that, even right now, are very low, despite having 10 months until then. So it is what it is. I'm 17 mil, pretty much buffed without hypers. If I use hypers and 5th jobs, that puts me at 23 mil. And then if I really went crazy and I used Seed Ring and AB buff, I'm at 35 mil. With guild stuff, bosses, reincarnation, whatnot, every single buff imaginable, I'm pretty sure I do break 50 mil range. So we're making it up there. And if you guys wondered, no, I am not stronger than my old Dark Knight, not yet. I think I might be if we check back a year from today, though. We're only just seemingly making progress, and again, all of this was done completely free to play, $0 spent. $0 spent. No real money was spent. Of course, I've received things such as like loans for certain items, but all loans have been paid back, in full with Meso. It's kind of what we do among like the friend group. We give loans, just like how I gave somebody 700 mil so they can get a certain item they wanted. But yeah, that's essentially it. I have nothing else to cover for this character. I will be coming back and making this character a little stronger. I'll probably make some more update videos on this in about a month or so. But before that, I figured I am going to do something different. Not exactly different, but just something that I haven't really done in like 2 years on this channel. And I'm looking forward to being able to do it again. And it's going to be KMS style. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this extraordinarily long video. I really do appreciate it. and you guys have a wonderful day.